If you lost your fantasy playoffs and you still have that itch to play, check out the newest game from Champions Round, Sunday's Best. Dan and I are going to discuss our top players from each position to give you an edge on who you should pick for your draft in the Sunday's Best game. My top quarterback this week in week 15 is Justin Herbert against the Titans. Tennessee is allowing the second most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks this year, and Justin Herbert has all of his weapons back. I really like him this week. He's my top pick. And my top running back this week, sticking with the same game, is Derrick Henry. I'm going to take Henry against the Chargers, who have allowed 7 rushers to gain 99 yards or more this year. And Henry had 5 100-yard games earlier in the year. He kind of sloughed off a little bit, but he came back strong last week. I'm going to say he hits it again and gets another 100-yard game, has a big game for the Titans against the Chargers, who are one of the basement teams in terms of rushing yards allowed. So Derrick Henry is my top running back. At wide receiver, sticking with the Chargers, I like Keenan Allen. I like that Herbert and Keenan Allen stack. Again, the Titans, second in the league in fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. So give me Keenan Allen. And my top tight end, I'm going to go with David Njoku of the Browns against the Ravens. It's looking very much like Deshaun Watson is relying on him as an option in the passing game. And the matchup against Baltimore is definitely favorable. So give me Njoku as my top tight end this week. Dan, what do you think?
Those are all great picks, Jeff. All great picks. For my picks, I like Josh Allen this week against Miami. I think there's a little bit of a revenge factor after almost doubling the yardage output of Miami the last time they played, but still losing. I think that Josh Allen is out to prove that the Buffalo Bills can beat the Dolphins. I think he has a huge game there. At running back, I have old reliable Derrick Henry. He's going against the Chargers, who are 30th against the run. And, he's basically their entire offense. So he's been consistently productive all year, averaging 24 points a game. So definitely someone you can just plug in and forget about it. All right. So for my top wide receiver for the week, I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. Pretty much what I said about Josh Allen, also applies to what I'm going to say about Diggs. It's a tough, interdivisional game against Miami. They outgained them by almost double the last time they played, and they're going to be out looking for revenge. Miami is 20th against fantasy wide receivers, and I really expect Diggs to have a big game as well as Josh Allen. So that would be why I have him as my top wide receiver for the week. And for my tight end pick, I'm just not going to go crazy. It's Travis Kelce. Kelce has almost doubled the fantasy output of the next closest tight end here. He's basically as much of a lock in fantasy as can be for a player. He has a good matchup against the tanking Houston Texans, who have nothing to play for but the number 1 pick. So I expect a really big game from him this week.
All right, there you have it. I would have taken Kelce, but this Houston gives up so many rushing yards that the passing yards just aren't even needed. But hey, let's see how my team does against your team, and we'll see who wins. Yeah. And hopefully that gave you a little bit of an edge in who you should pick for your Sunday's Best.
Exactly. You have 8 picks there, so hopefully some combination or all of my team or all of Jeff's team hopefully gets you through and wins you your week.